Okay.
Hey, what is up everyone? Today in this video we're going to be talking about yet another Call of Duty being leaked ahead of its actual official announcement time. Today's standards with Call of Duty, that is kind of the norm. They almost always get leaked, or at least over the last 4 or 5 years, it does seem like they've kind of just gotten leaked before they're supposed to. Well, yes, Activision has already announced that there would be another Call of Duty this year, which is a huge shocker for all of us. I'm so shocked that there's going to be another Call of Duty. We still really didn't know much about it. There were some speculation that it was going to be during the Vietnam War, but no one really knew for sure. But according to a tweet by code leaker Okami, it does seem as if the new game is going to be called Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Now, this picture of the box art that Okami posted is most definitely not going to be what the actual box art's going to look like, as it does look like a 5-year-old made this. But Black Ops Cold War definitely makes sense as a title, and Eurogamer has actually backed Okami with this post stating that it most likely is true. If Cold War actually is the name of the Call of Duty releasing this fall, it does confirm that Call of Duty Black Ops will be returning to its roots of a historical setting. The original Black Ops did take place in the 1960s, kind of in the Vietnam War era. Every Black Ops after that actually skyrocketed way into the future. So I would 100% back Treyarch's decision to go back to the kind of 1960s era versus being way into the future and just kind of following Modern Warfare's footsteps with a nice reset, boots on the ground, not this ridiculous futuristic crap that nobody wants. And it does kind of make me excited overall because Black Ops 1 was one of my all-time favorite Call of Duty games. I thought it was excellent. Overall, just a lot of good memories with that game. In other news, COD Warzone has actually begun a set of teasers as well that have to do with the locked bunkers around the map. And it does seem like you can get into most of these bunkers as of now. There are still some locked ones around the map, but you can actually now find some key cards in legendary boxes or rare drops in other boxes as well. Really interesting though, players have officially gotten into Bunker 11, and this is by far the hardest bunker to get in so far. And what you basically have to do is there are phones scattered across the map. You have to answer them in a particular order. You're gonna hear a message in Russian, and you have to basically decipher a code in order to get in there. So it is a little ridiculous, but players have officially done it. So there are actually a lot of interesting things in this bunker, starting with this big red shiny button, and then if you look to the room to the right, there is actually nuclear warheads being like assembled or just laying around in the room, which is actually really interesting. Going into my next point, there are some data miners in the Warzone Discord who have stumbled upon some models of a nuclear warhead underneath the Warzone map, which definitely leads me to also believe that something is going on here. They've also discovered models of an RCXD from the Black Ops series, a little remote control C4 basically, and also a U-2 plane that really resembles the stealth plane from the Black Ops series, leading myself and many others to believe that these could potentially be little teasers for the announcement of Black Ops Cold War. And Warzone actually originally was released with the intent that it was going to be a single battle royale that was going to continue through the COD games from here on out versus basically like starting a new one every year. So they had Blackout last year, now they have Warzone this year. They do kind of plan on going more of a Fortnite style with it, where they're just updating Warzone constantly. So the likelihood that this is potentially teasing a lead up into Warzone kind of transitioning over to Black Ops is very likely to me. And something big is definitely coming, and I am very interested to see where this goes in the future. All right, up next, guys, is
Comment of the week.
For anyone who did not catch our last Friday video, Blake was talking about how NextVR has been purchased by Apple. So Apple is kind of diving into the VR scene, and we are kind of interested to see where this leads. But our comment of the week this week is from Megan Hawk, and it says, "Personally, I'd be fine with them doing VR as long as their price point isn't $1,000+ for the headset. If they had games that were added to Apple Arcade, I'd be happy." I totally agree with you, Megan. If Apple is coming in with their first VR at that $1,000 price range, which I definitely wouldn't be surprised about. I mean, they are selling wheels for a computer for $700. So for them to make their first VR at $1,000, I would not be surprised. But if they are diving into the VR scene instantly with a $1,000 premium VR headset, then they really need to come up with some sort of special thing about it. There are quite a few different VR systems at this point. So for them to come in so late and try to just pawn off $1,000 VR system to, you know, Apple fanboys or whatever, it's kind of a risky move for them. So they're gonna have to do something special with it. Now, going to you saying, I hope they add some VR games to the Apple Arcade. I think that would be really cool actually if they came out with an entire VR section on the Apple Arcade where it was all exclusive Apple Arcade games that you can play on your VR. Some people like those little exclusive Apple Arcade games, and I think that'd be a great thing for them to put on their VR system. But at the same time, I really am for the progression of, you know, really cinematic experiences or really immersive experiences happening with VR in the future. So I do also hope that they work on some, you know, exclusive Apple content in the future too that can put up with awesome games like Valve made, like Half-Life Alyx. Anyways, that is gonna do it for our Friday video this week. I hope you did enjoy watching. And I do wanna know what you guys think on the whole Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War leaks. Do you think that this is something that we even need? Should Modern Warfare just be extended for like a year or two? Like why are they making more Call of Duties at this point? I want to know your guys' thoughts on that. And then make sure to give the video a thumbs up, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and do not forget, if you want to see anything from tech, games, movies, and anything nerdy in between, make sure to subscribe to Digital Cynics. Peace.